Here's a little bit of an intro, a little bit of a backstory. For the month of December, I'm going to be answering your questions in about the time it takes me to drink a beer. So feel free to join along. Ask me a question down below in the comments. I'll drink a beer. I'll answer your questions. Get ready. All right, welcome back, family. You guys know you are my SDSBBQ family. Really want to take a moment and say thank you guys for joining me on the Ask Dad series. But today is a new day, or this is a new video. A new video means another question, another beer. All right. So today's question comes from Russell Lane. He says, hello, Dash, from Kansas City, Missouri. He says, go Chiefs. How may I help you? Those of you guys who have been in and or around Kansas City will know what that is. If you know what that means or what that's from, comment down below. Anyway, I'm going to first wish you and yours a very happy holiday season. My question for you are, my questions, always got a couple. My questions for you are, what was your inspiration for getting started in the barbecue business? And are any of your children interested in following Dad's footsteps? Again, thank you for all you do in the barbecue community, and I hope to see you here at the Royal sometime. Man, I would love to get down there to the Royal. I don't know. I don't do much competition, so if I came to the Royal, it probably will be in a spectator capacity or helping someone else out. So let me get to Russell's questions, and you know, we're going to work on finishing the beer. So he first asked, what were my barbecue inspirations? Honestly enough, I really didn't have any barbecue inspirations. Growing up, my mom and dad were divorced. We had a grill in the house, and it was one of those things where I used to like setting fires.
Fire, 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 fire.
As far as barbecue inspiration, I can honestly say it's something that kind of just, I don't know where it came from. I really like playing with fire. You guys have heard me, a few of you guys have heard me say this all the time when people want to call me a pitmaster or a chef or something like that. I'm not a chef, and I'm sure not a pitmaster. I tell people all the time, I'm an arsonist who cooks. And that was it. I liked playing with fire as a kid, and I was the kid that would be playing with the lighter fluid, squirting a bottle from however many feet back, and the fire was taller than I was because I like playing with fire. But if I started the grill and played with fire, I had to cook on it. With that being said, that's kind of what got me into doing it. And I talked about it in the past where I told you guys about how my aunt, growing up, my aunt lived next door, and she had a little Brinkman bullet smoker, and I would help her. And when I say help, it was loose help. Like I was probably carrying food out to the smoker while she put it on. But I would help her smoke chickens from time to time. And that was basically it. I didn't even really remember that I did that until I was much older and got into barbecue, and people were asking me this same or a similar question, and I'm like, wait a minute. My aunt she used to smoke chicken all the time. And when I say all the time, it might have been once a month, once every other month in the summer. Growing up in Philadelphia, we had winter, and she cooked primarily during the summer months where she would smoke chicken, and it was almost always chicken. She almost always smoked whole chickens, and she would smoke the chickens, and I don't even know what she did with them because she lived next door, and I didn't eat the chicken that she would do stuff with. So it was just one of those things where I would help her cook it, and I can't really remember ever having much or a lot of the fruits of our labor from helping, but I didn't really do much again. So I don't really know where me doing barbecue came from, aside from it grew from a love of playing with fire. Seriously. Then I know I've talked about it in the past where I went to Austin had brisket that I could not get or did not. I've never had brisket like that before, or at the time I'd never had brisket like that. So when I got back to Baltimore from traveling for work, I was like, I gotta figure out how to do this. I found brisket locally and I started trying to cook it. It took me 7 years, 7 long years to get it close. And once I finally got it close, that was pretty much it. The push to go into business actually came from my friends, and that was out of I won't say a need, but I was cooking so much for myself, for my family, they got tired of eating the same stuff over and over. Me trying to perfect barbecue, or me trying to perfect brisket. And it was brisket that I kept trying. So what ended up happening was I would take food to my coworkers. I would take food to my car friends. And they eventually got to the point where someone said to me, how much would you charge me to cook one of these for me? And that's when it clicked. It was like, wait a minute, you won't pay me to do this? I'm gonna find out how much I'm gonna charge you, and I'm gonna get back to you. And that's how my business began. Seriously, very, very organically. I did not have I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do barbecue and I'm gonna make this amount of money and I'm gonna do blah, blah, blah. No, none of that. My barbecue business grew organically. I used to sell food out of the trunk of my car. Like, you can't get much more organic than that. And I just, like I said, I used to sell food out of the trunk of the car. And it got to the point where the business aspect kind of took over, and I got laid off from work. I was able to make my own economy by selling food to folks via Instagram, via, well, it was mainly via Instagram, the people I work with and my car friends. And that's what held me over while I was laid off. I was laid off for 1.5 years, and my business sustained itself until I went back to work. So there's that. And to answer your second question, is there anyone, or are my kids inspired or interested, is the word I think you used, in going into business like me or following my footsteps? So each of my children has different personalities, as if you've seen some of my older videos, you know. Of my children, I think each of them could run an aspect of the business. I think my older son will probably be like the front office person. My middle son might be the figurehead, the person that's like in front of the camera or talking to the people. And then my daughter, oddly enough, she probably will be in the kitchen. Now, could I see either of them doing any of those 3 things? Yes. Am I going to push them to follow my footsteps? Not at all. I've seen, and I don't want to be that dad to, like, you know how you see some sports dads and they're living vicariously through their kids? I never want to be that person. Never. So with that being said, if they want to join me, if they want to help me, that's fine. Taste tester number 2, at this point, he is the one that is most, not likely, but he is the one that helps me most often, but he also is the one that knows that I'll pay him to help me do things. So there's motivation in him helping me. While the other 2 just kind of help at times, or they will help when I ask. A lot, or more often than not, when I'm cooking later at night, or in the cold, or in the, when it's super duper hot, and they couldn't be bothered. So I'm not going to bother them. I'm going to let them want to come to me, and I'm not going to force the issue. So hopefully that answers your question. Thank you, Russell, for such a great question. I really do appreciate, or great questions. I do appreciate them. Keep in mind, if you have a question, all you have to do is ask your question down below, and I will get it answered, hopefully before the end of the month. Don't be bashful. Feel free to ask me your question down below, and I can get it answered in a video response. Thank you guys so very much, as always, for watching. If you have not already, please do subscribe. I really do appreciate it. hit that thumbs up button for me, and I'll see you. Oh man, I did not finish. Hold on. I'll see you in the next one.
More butter, baby.